街中を埋め尽くすトランプ大統領への批判の声。この日、全米で一斉に行われたデモ、マーチ・フォー・サイエンス。科学者をはじめ、多くの一般市民が参加した。トランプ政権が主張する政権側にとっての事実、いわゆるオルタナティブファクトに怒りの声を上げた。
This is our only way of letting him know that his thinking is not okay.
So now we have to be super careful about what publications we're reading. So we have to like become more aware of what journals we're reading, of what newspapers we're looking at.
Scientists tend to think that facts are good. Trump has none.
Alternate facts are only imaginary.
That these are not an issue of opinion, but rather fact.
人々が求める事実とは何か。トランプ政権下で揺れるアメリカ社会で、ジャーナリズム、そして調査報道の今を追った。サンフランシスコの中心部から車でおよそ1時間。閑静な住宅街の一角にオフィスを構えるのが調査報道センター。ノンプロフィットの調査報道メディア、リビールを運営している。在籍するスタッフやジャーナリストは現在75人。記事やドキュメンタリーだけではなく、ラジオ番組も発信している。
We want our stories not only to do really important stories, but for them to make a difference, for things to happen, for laws to change, for people maybe to go to jail, for a community to be aware of a problem. Because our model is not based on revenue and profit, we can do stories, we don't worry about offending an advertiser.
40年前、アメリカ初のノンプロフィットの調査報道機関として始まったこのセンターは、権力に切り込む鋭い記事やドキュメンタリーを発信し続け、数々の賞を受賞。彼らの報道を支えてきたのは、市民からの寄付金だ。
And a very small percentage of American philanthropy, the money people give, goes to journalism. But it's enough. The people who support us are not interested in profit. They're interested in what we call public service journalism. Journalism that protects American democracy. So it's a very different business model.
アメリカを代表するジャーナリズム大学院の一つ、UC バークレー。ドアを開けると、出迎えるのはアジアや中東、世界各国の新聞だ。廊下を飾るのは、フォトジャーナリストを目指す学生たちの作品。この大学院に拠点を置く調査報道機関がある。調査報道プログラムだ。在籍するおよそ10人のジャーナリストたちが、ここを拠点に調査報道を行い、記事やドキュメンタリーを発信している。
When I pay my federal taxes, a quarter, 25% of my taxes go to the Department of Defense. How is it that in the country that spends the most in the world on its military, that we have people dying in crashes in old aircraft? Where's the money going, you know? The IRP exists as a resource to the journalism school. So if a student is working on a story and they need extra help that's investigative, they send the students over here. It helps us because we have constant flow of new stories. We get lots of people saying, hey, I have this story idea, what do you think? So that's how it benefits us.
この教育と発信の場を立ち上げたのがローウェル・バーグマンさん。テレビ報道の第一線で活躍し、映画インサイダーのモデルとしても知られるジャーナリストだ。
And we'll try to do the stories that no one else can do or will do. FBI agents, federal judges, other reporters, investigative reporters who are doing work similar to what we're looking at. And then the projects we do are real projects. It's not an academic project that goes on a shelf somewhere and in a library and no one ever reads it. All governments traffic to a certain extent, I think, in not telling the truth. So it's not new to have fake news.
Yes.
Part of our job is to evaluate what governments and institutions say and see what's potentially really true. What is there behind what we're told? Is there something we don't know, right? As well as look for things in our society that people may see. It may be hiding in plain sight, but no one talks about it, no one writes about it, and try to bring that to public attention, especially if we can make things better.
首都ワシントン DC。 この町にも調査報道の教育と発信を行う私立の大学がある。アメリカン大学だ。学内に設置された本格的なスタジオ。学生たちは取材力だけではなく、キャスターやディレクター、カメラマンとしての率先力を鍛えられる。そんな中、ユニークな取り組みを行っているのが調査報道ワークショップだ。
Yeah, the uniqueness of the investigative reporting workshop is that we have several partnerships with institutions like the Washington Post or Frontline. And so because we are in DC and work with these journalists on various projects, and then they'll publish those projects, and so they'll actually get a byline. We had a student, maybe it was 1 or 2 semesters ago, and he got a byline on one of the police shooting stories, and then eventually won the Pulitzer. And so before he even graduated, he was a Pulitzer Prize winner, or part of a Pulitzer Prize winning team.
今年1月から客員研究員として席を置く元 NHK 記者立岩さん。
だから とにかくね、いろんなことやってるんですよ。アメリカの人って本当に不思議なぐらい。でそこに例えばその、ここで言えばその新聞社である、ワシントン・ポストもお金を出してくるし、人も出してくるし、あとその PBS のフロントラインっていう看板番組ですよ。そこも一緒にやろうって言ってくると。でそこ入ってきますよね。ジャーナリズムを守ろうとするわけですよね。そういう意識がね、申し訳ないけどね、日本のメディアにはねないんですよ。申し訳ないけど。そこは圧倒的な差ですよね。だからそのジャーナリズムをどうやって守ろうかっていう議論をね常にしてるから、パもでかいですよ。全然違うっていう。
Yeah, well, I think it's a good point because particularly at this time when journalism is being challenged, and it's just what investigative reporting is. It's holding people accountable, whether it's the government, whether it's corporations, whether it's individuals, and asking the questions that need to be asked to get the information so the public can make decisions.
この国の主役は力を持っている一部の人たちではなく、自分たち一般市民である。この国の調査報道を支えているのは人々のその信念だ。
It's important for the news to actually pursue stories and not just exclusively rely on what they're told to report.
The first thing I do is look at where the news comes from, and if it's from a source that I don't recognize, I usually don't read it at all. And I think investigative journalism can be really important. With regular journalism, it might just start with like an interview or something, and for me, when I think of the word investigative, to me, I feel like it's on a deeper level.
This man should be accountable to the people. And that's the job of the journalists to discover the truth.
So I think if there's no truthful, honest reporting, it will divide our community just immediately. Yeah.
Because if you watch other channels that do like fact checks, they'll fact check all the things he's been saying. And you look at most of them are lies. The true journalists are not going to be frightened by words like that because they're in the profession of telling the truth. Because with the truth, you can avoid wars, you can avoid injustice, you can avoid so many things, right? It's all about telling people where the truth is.